Let me start by acknowledging senior administration officials here in the Parker administration. I want you to know that the office of the mayor is led by Tiffany Thurman, who is our chief of staff, Vanessa Garrett Harley, who is our chief deputy mayor, and Sincere Harris, who is our chief deputy mayor, and labor negotiating is a part of her portfolio. I want to say to all of the people of the city of Philadelphia that I understood when I ran for mayor that I needed a team of people around me who understood the assignment and understood that I needed them to be prepared to go to war with the status quo in our city. Tiffany Thurman, Vanessa Garrett Harley, and Sincere Harris, I want you to know I'm so super proud to have you lead my office in this city. I love you. I love you. I love you. Chief Deputy Mayor Sincere Harris and her labor negotiating team, they worked extremely hard. Kara Laheni. Kara, where are you?
I'm right behind you.
I love you, lady.
Thank you.
Lauren Fox is Lauren. Lauren, thank you. And if I screw up any names, charge it to my head and not my heart. Y'all know I have a challenge spelling and pronouncing things sometimes. Sharon Ulak from the law team. Sharon, where are you? I want to see you. Sharon. Camille Duchesset, where is she? Where? Thank you. Candy, do we know the sex of the baby yet?
We do.
We do. What is it? Okay. The only thing I can tell you is that Candy Jones is our HR director, and that baby is going to be super duper smart. I don't see her here. I'm sure she's making sure that things are moving. But I want you to give a super round of applause to Crystal Jacob Shipman, our sanitation. Love you. Listen to me. I don't care how big and bad and tough anybody thinks they are. I don't care how smart you think you are. You can't do anything alone. These are the people, they were my rocks to help this city get through this process, and I appreciate you, Carlton Williams. Fiscal stewardship. How many mayors have you? He knows where every body is buried, every bone is buried. We have the best, and I mean he's trustworthy, his integrity, his honesty. He's going to tell you the truth whether you want to hear the answer or not, and that is our Rob DeBoe. Give it up for Rob DeBoe. My right hand. The next lady is our budget director. I didn't know her when I became mayor of this city. And for those of you who know me, Philadelphia, you judge people based on relationships. And for me, I watch how people perform and respond when you're in a foxhole, when you're under the pressure. It tells you who people are. Maya Angelou says that when people show you who they are, you should believe them the first time. And you've done an amazing job, Sabrina Maynard. Every meeting that the team was in, Sincere would just call and say, well, wait, I've got to talk to Cat Land. Cat, Cat, where are you, Cat? Is she here? She's, okay, she deserves it. We around the clock. Harry Hansen, is Harry here? Harry, thank you. Give Harry a round of applause, please. Don Morales, the first time I ever, yes. Come here. The first time Managing Director Teal introduced me to Don, I said, he can't know everything you just said. He's too young. Because he looks so youthful. The first crisis and tragedy where I saw him activate our Office of Emergency Management was the plane crash. And I watched him cool, level-headed, intergovernmental cooperation and planning, nonprofit, governmental agencies, for-profits, utilities, pulling them all together, very methodical, very meticulous. We made it here because of you two, and I want you to know we appreciate you. Come on over here. We're going to get to the notes in a second, but whenever you're going through a challenge, you better have a damn good lawyer. What I watched you, Solicitor Renee Garcia, do, along with Crystal Charity, the labor law team, Sam. Sam, is he here? Is Sam?
Sam's running the law office.
He's running the law. Seeing that team in action, to ensure that we were able to provide services that the city of Philadelphia needed while we were in the midst of this public health and safety crisis, watching what your team did to make that possible in your legal lane. I want you to know we are very, very grateful to have you on our team. Thank you, Solicitor Garcia. There are so many other officials who worked around the clock to keep Philadelphia safe during this strike. But Police Commissioner Bethel, where are you, Commissioner Bethel? I know we're working. We safe, clean, and green with economic opportunity for all. And the strike is not usually on the list. But when we called on you, when the city needed you, so these people who are here could go to work and they could do their jobs. You and Fire Commissioner Thompson, come here, please, both of them. Can you give them a round of applause? Fires, the water hydrants, thank you. Everyone knows that the good news that we have to share this morning for the hardworking men and women of AFSCME District Council 33, and for every resident and business in the city of Philadelphia, that the work stoppage involving District Council 33 in the city of Philadelphia, it is over. It is true that we have reached a tentative agreement with District Council 33 on a new 3-year contract that, once approved by the union's membership, coupled with the 1-year contract extension we agreed to last November, it will increase District Council 33 members' pay by 14% over my 4 years in office. In Philadelphia, I want you to know that this is a very significant investment in our employees, while at the same time ensuring that we as a city are living within our means. I am and always have been an unapologetically proud pro-union, pro-labor, pro-worker elected official, and of course now mayor, and I always will be. There is nothing that will take that spirit, that belief in what organized labor and unions mean to working people in this nation, in this commonwealth, and in our great city. Give labor a round of applause. To the men and women of District Council 33, I know this has been a very difficult week and a day away from the jobs that you do so incredibly well for the people of our great city. And I want you to know this: your city values you and the work that you do every day for our residents. This city moves and works because you do. Give our District Council 33. No matter what, we can't move without you. From the 5% pay raise that District Council 33 members received in the one-year contract extension last November, to the 9% in pay increases included in this tentative 3-year agreement reached earlier, to me, that is the way that we demonstrate solidarity with our workforce in a very meaningful and a tangible way. You can't tell me that you believe that there is dignity in all work and just say that in words or an easy social media post with a fist in the air. If you believe in me and you value me, show me in my paycheck that I take home, and you have a right to have that expectation. That's what we did here. We balanced valuing the men and women of District Council 33 for the hard and vital work that they perform with protecting the fiscal responsibility of this city and its stability. That's on us. To the men and women who show up for work every day, to pick up our trash, staff our water treatment facilities, work on the front lines as emergency dispatchers for police and fire, and a wide range of other jobs and duties. I want you to know that we see you and we hear you. I also want you to know that it's not lost on me that while the members of District Council 33 were exercising their right during this work stoppage, 2 of their members were tragically struck by a driver during the strike. They sustained very serious injuries, and both the workers and their families are very much in our thoughts and in our prayers, and we will be monitoring the situation, and this city is here to do whatever we can, however we can, to help those workers and their families. To the residents of the city, I know how very challenging this week has been for you as well. Nobody wants to see mounds of trash sitting by dumpsters, or worse, by the side of a road or a street. I know the situation, it wasn't pleasant for anyone, and I didn't like seeing it any more than you did. I can only tell you that we did the best we could with what we had to provide the city services that were essential to making our public health and safety a #1 priority during this very challenging time. I can also tell you that a whole lot of city workers, countless volunteers, and yes, contractors, they worked with us around the clock, day in and day out, to remove as much trash as we possibly could, as quickly and as efficiently as we possibly could. I want all of those volunteers and all of those contractors. This was an emergency and they responded immediately to help our city, and I need them to know we see you and that you responded to this city in a time of need. Let's give them a round of applause. I hear you, and I want you to know that we understand the challenges, Philadelphia, that you faced. In a few minutes, I'm going to ask one of our subject matter experts, our Clean and Green Director, Carlton Williams, to give an update on how the city will handle trash in the coming days. I do want you to know that the city will resume regular trash collections this coming Monday. The city will assume regular trash collections this coming Monday. Until then, we are encouraging our residents to either take their trash to one of our 6 sanitation centers that are located strategically around our city, or if you have the potential to do it, hold your trash until regular collections resume starting on Monday. On the agreement, we've gotten a lot of questions, and it's important to me, Philadelphia, that you know the facts. Last year, the 5% pay raise was agreed to, and that fiscal year ended on 6/30/25. The first year of this tentative agreement includes a 3% pay increase, plus a $1,500 bonus. The second year includes a 3% pay increase, and the third year includes a 3% pay increase. In addition, and this is important to note because these are the things that you can't share in a 10-second social media post. It's all of it. It's too complex to try to give it to people, you know, in quick snippets. There is an historic 5th step increase. What does that mean? It's 2%. Half of District Council 33 members will get it right away. 80% of them will get it by the end of the contract. I want you to know, Philadelphia, this is a new permanent salary increase that every member of District Council 33 will be able to benefit from. In addition, folks have said, what was the cost of this tentative agreement? The cost of the agreement is $115 million over our 5-year plan that has to be approved by PICA. What does that mean? That's 14%. And this is important to note for the record. I don't want anybody to leave here confused about what we're saying. This represents a 14% pay increase over my 4-year term. It's the largest pay increase proposal in one term of any Philadelphia mayor in over 30 years. The largest one-term, 4-year pay increase of any mayor in over 30 years. Because if you're like me, you believe that we should and we have a right and a responsibility to do right by our workforce. So I want taxpaying residents to know that we have done just that with this agreement. In closing, I want to say to our residents, please give us a moment of grace. As our hardworking employees and members of District Council 33, they return to their jobs. We'll get every city service that they provide staffed up and running just as soon as it is humanly possible. This is going to take some transition, and we ask you to just give us just a little bit of grace. What am I immediately thinking about? I'm thinking about our swimming pools and our rec centers, our libraries, and every vital service that we continue to provide during the strike, like water treatment, like the police dispatching, the airport dispatching too. We take these jobs very seriously because our job is to serve you, the people of Philadelphia. Finally, before I ask Chief Deputy Mayor Sincere Harris to come up, and then this final speaker you'll hear from is Carlton Williams. Joe Grace, where are you? Give Joe Grace a round of applause. You and the entire team, thank you, Joe. One of the things we have been talking about through all of this is the need to restore a sense of trust in government. We also know in District Council 33, President Boulware, respectfully, I know that we're going to need some healing time. You can't get through something as intense as this and not have to go through healing time. But our city is here. I'm here. We're going to work in partnership with our District Council 33 men and women, because that's the only way that we can realize what you all always hear me talk about. And what is that? One Philly, a united city. You can't do it unless we work during this time to make sure that we are healing wounds. And we want to do that. Now, put your hands together for Chief Deputy Mayor Sincere Harris.
I'll be very brief before bringing up Director Williams. We are proud to have reached this tentative agreement with District Council 33 today. And while we know that some in the media and pundits may focus on who won, the truth is there is no winning when there's a work stoppage. There is no winning when there's a strike and the men and women, go out on the picket lines. The city of Philadelphia doesn't win. The members of District Council 33 and our employees do not win. And most importantly, the residents and the citizens of Philadelphia do not win. So we are glad to be bringing the family back together as we move forward. As Mayor Parker said, we're going to work in this, transition and return to normalcy to heal some of the divide and heal some of those wounds that, were opened up during this process. We value District Council 33, District Council 47, the men and women of our police, fire, all of our municipal employment, all of our municipal workforce. This is a good deal, but it is just the beginning of the investment that Mayor Parker and this administration is committed into making into our workforce. And we will continue to work in partnership and continue to find pathways for salary growth and career growth for the men and women of District Council 33 and all of the men and women who keep this city running on a daily basis. With that, I'm going to bring up Director Carlton Williams to talk about what everybody wants to hear, which is when the trash is going to be picked up and how we get back to normal operations.
Good morning. And it is a good morning. Before I get into the details on how we're going to get our city back in the right direction, I do want to acknowledge a couple of people. Mayor has already acknowledged them, but I'm certainly going to take an opportunity to do so as well. True leadership can occur in a time of crisis. Anyone can lead when it's a time of calm, but true leadership really shows in a time of crisis. And our mayor has shown that time and time again. Please give her a big round of applause for standing up for us. She had to make some difficult decisions, but she did it for the benefit of all citizens of Philadelphia, so please make sure you give her a big round of applause. Mayor, we have always said we got your back 1,000%. To those people To those people who sacrifice their time and energy away, we cancel vacation times, we understand that, the sacrifices that you made, we thank you, and I'm talking in particularly not only to all of the men and women that you see up here in the various departments, my man, Commissioner Bethel, Stanford, and his team. I really appreciate keeping things in a time of calm when things got hostile and hot. He was always saying we got to work towards making sure everyone is protected. Our workers that's on the picket lines, our workers that's out there working for us during this situation, and especially the citizens of Philadelphia. Thank you, Commissioner Bethel. I also want to thank all of our agencies who work, particularly CLIP, the Community Life Improvement Program, Tom Conway and his team, Future Track, who was out there working hard as well, sacrificing. I know you was in the middle of it, but thank you. Certainly also want to thank my staff at OCG, Officer Clean and Green, who out there right now checking sites. Just want to know, work never stops with us. We keep it moving because we know we have a lot of work to do, and I want to be able to explain it. Commissioner Shipman and her team, all of those guys put the work in and trying to maintain all of those areas, and I just want to thank you and everybody. So where are we now? We are in the process of transitioning back to a normal collection process. Mayor Parker just mentioned that we're asking residents just a little bit more patience as we get back to a normal schedule. We have to inventory our equipment. We have to see what our staff is coming in and reassign. Those 60 sites that are public, and thank you residents for that as well, for your cooperation and support and understanding. I want to say that I know you were angry. Why is this dumpster here in front of my house? Why is it there? Why didn't you put it there? But in the end, you came out, resident at 15th and Bigler came out, shook my hand and said, I'm here to support you, sir, in any way you can. That's the type of leadership true Philadelphians deserve, and I want to thank the residents for that. And I'm asking for just a little bit more patience. So we're going to resume a full collection schedule this Monday, meaning that you can put your trash out on a regular collected schedule, collected by the great men and women of DC 33. Thank you. During that time, today is Wednesday's collection, Thursday and Friday. Mayor just talked about options for people to properly dispose of your trash in a safe way. First of all, we do not want residents returning to those disposal locations. They are being transitioned out, shut down, and cleaned up. In the meantime, we know that message won't reach everyone. And so we will have around-the-clock staff with compactors, again, with city forces to make sure that any trash that's brought to them locations is properly removed immediately, and we will continue the cleaning efforts at those locations. Residents can take it to one of our 6 sanitation convenience centers that will be open this week till Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., but then they'll go back on a regular schedule from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. So we want to make sure that residents have the opportunity who currently are not getting the collection service immediately to be able to properly dispose of their trash without taking it to those 60 locations. I know residents are concerned. I know they're saying, well, what happens when all of this is over and people continue to dump? Right. We are not tolerating illegal dumping, not then, not now, and never will we tolerate that. Starting today, we are putting cameras at those locations. So we will monitor every site visually, and anyone who has the audacity to think that you're going to come in and dump in our city, you will be fined. $5,000 per item, per incident, and if you use your truck, we will confiscate your vehicle according to the PPA. We're not playing. You will not come in and take advantage of a situation and dirty up our city and tear the quality of life in our community. We also want to make sure that we will provide extensive cleaning services. We heard you about the odors. We heard you about the litter. We certainly are going to pay attention to those areas as well. Outside of the 60 locations, we know people took it on their own to dump in locations that weren't a part of that program. I've been getting calls constantly, consistently all day. I hear you, what I want you to do so that we can organize this and get to it as quickly as possible. Call 311. report it to the system. They give me a daily update report. I'll get it to my team, and we'll have teams out in expedient fashion to address those areas so we can get back to a normal collection process and clean up those areas that have desperately been dumped on. These are the things that we can do together to put Philadelphia back on track. Our sanitation workers had an 80% satisfaction rate from the public for their collection process. We know the value of DC 33. We know the services that you provide, and we are so thankful, so happy to have you back in our family so that we can move our city forward to be the safest, cleanest, greenest, big city in the nation with access to economic opportunity for all. Thank you.
Everything Carlton just said. Also, just give a shout out to the folks in the city who are still checking at the senior citizens. There were people who became block contact people, and they were knocking on doors of the senior citizens on their blocks who, you know, of course they didn't see their trash sometimes outside, or they knew they didn't have someone who could go and drop their trash off. People were doing that. So that's the spirit of One Philly that we're talking about. I now want to make sure that we take some questions. Sean? Yes, Sean? I'm sorry, Sean, just stand up for me, please.
A lot of unions rally around DC 33, and there seems to be a majority opinion that they have a lot of public support. Aside from mending the relationship with DC 33, do you think there's other relationships to mend between the administration and
Well, relationships help. It's how we survive. It's how we work. It's how we get things done. You heard me say that I've always been an unapologetically, pro-labor, pro-union, pro-worker, public servant, and I'm going to continue to function that way. And, always willing to work with and communicate with and talk with anyone who's necessary to make sure we're moving our city forward. Philadelphia, you've heard me say on a number of occasions, especially during difficult times, that one of the first things you learn from me as an elected official, and you have to blame this on my tenure in Harrisburg, being in a minority and having to work and get things done when my party was in the minority, and I had to go work with other people, some of whom I agreed to disagree with 99% of the time on issues, but when I needed to work with them to get things done for the city of Philadelphia, I couldn't let my pride, ego, or emotions get in the way. As the mayor of the city of Philadelphia, I stand solidly on that. I don't care who I have to talk to, who I have to work with. We're going to make sure that we do it to move our city forward, Sean. So that's anyone who we need to communicate with. And I mean, and that's not new about me. That's just who I am. But I appreciate that question. You're right. Yes, sir. There are a whole lot of geometric if-then statements, and I've heard a whole lot about it. The actions that you've seen the city solicitor and the law department make in court where the injunctions were won, they were. About anything that we were woulda, coulda, shoulda, not a part of our calculus. We're here trying to bring our family back together. Yes, Pat?
You'll see some of the details emerge in the coming days that give you a full, complete picture of the package that the city put on the table for the men and women of District Council 33. It's a fair and fiscally responsible deal. It is a good deal, and I think that throughout the negotiations and our talks, hopefully that the leadership of DC 33 did come to realize that, because like you said, the deal that we the tentative agreement that we came to last night is largely what was on the table on June 30th, and we're happy that the union did see it to come to that agreement and move forward.
And again, I want everybody to not forget those details. Again, we already said them, just go back through them and listen to them. This just wasn't the raises. I'm talking about with the salary, so it was 5, then 3, 3, and 3. But that wasn't it, nor was it just the bonus. That historic fifth step increase, that is significant, Philadelphia, especially for those of you who are thinking about the value of your employment by your pension benefit. If you're familiar with how we calculate our pensions, we use the salary that you earn from your top 3 earning years by the multiplier. And because of this, this means that the ceiling for District Council 33 employees will rise. That's extremely important. In addition to that, let me say this. I'm not sure, if anyone was going to ask about it. For those of you who attended any of our budget briefings and town hall meetings, you heard me crisscross this city talking about the creation of a One Philly mortgage program. Why was the creation of this mortgage program so important? Because what we learned from the past when we created programs, and now I'm thinking about former Council President Darrell Clark, I'm thinking about Council President Kenyatta Johnson, and our communication about Turn the Key being an amazing program. However, you build the houses, but if our people can't get qualified for the mortgages because they can't meet the underwriting criteria of the prime market, how have we helped our workforce? Why was that important? Because we needed to use it as a tool for attraction and retention. So I want you to not just think about our 33 employees, think about them, think about 47, think about police and fire, think about teachers, think about nurses, anybody we need to incentivize to choose Philadelphia. Well, now that we're giving you access to an opportunity to get pre-qualified for a mortgage so that you can go out and shop for your own house, now, to me, that's an incentive that's worth valuing. And that is something that I personally, and I want to be very clear, I'm going to be the person at the table making sure that that One Philly mortgage product gets to every municipal union in the city of Philadelphia. That's my commitment to our municipal workforce. In addition to that, you heard us mention our police commissioner, Bethel, and our fire commissioner, Thompson. But in all of the work, particularly with the work that was done by the law department, none of that work could have been enforced without the support. In Philadelphia, this is important to acknowledge, especially when people have had a hand in making a process work. I'm talking about our sheriff, Rochelle Bilal. Give her a huge round of applause. Give credit where credit is due. I want to thank Sheriff Bilal and her entire team for their work and their service. They had a commitment to the city of Philadelphia, and we want them to know, we know this was a very difficult time, but they stayed true to their commitment to the city. Joe, one last? Let Lauren. Yes. Yes. The formula is sound, fair, and fiscally responsible. We value our workforce. And Lauren, you heard Carlton mention safe, clean, green, economic opportunity for all. It doesn't work without the workforce. I don't care what kind of vision the mayor can have. Yes, that's my vision. That's what I'm trying to realize. Do I think we've been moving in the right direction? Absolutely, but it's only because of the work that our municipal workforce has been doing. So, tentative agreement today with District Council 33. We're working with 47. We're working with police. We're working with fire. And Sincere is going to kill me because I always leave one off. Who did I leave off? Steel workers. So we're working with all of them.
Should they not expect you to budget
Well, you and I, your framing, you and I, Lauren, will agree to disagree on even the framing of your question. For me, it's fair and fiscally responsible, and that's what we did. And I think you'll see that, and we're going to be working hard with all of them at the table. We can't do that without partnership and communication and negotiations. You hear me always use this term called GTY. That's what I want to do. I want to get to yes. And what's important to you? This is how, the fiscal impact, will touch the city of Philadelphia. And then we find a way to meet somewhere in the middle. But we've got to let our municipal workforce know that we value them. And these collective bargaining and negotiations opportunities are a tangible way that they can see, touch, and feel the city of Philadelphia's belief in them.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all so very much. Oh, well, I'm sorry. There's one other data point that we need to address that we've heard quite frequently, and there's none other than our Finance Director, Rob DeBoe, to address it regarding inflation.
Right. One of the issues that we've heard is that the increases that we have in this package won't keep up with inflation. It was something that we looked at specifically to make sure that these raises would be more than inflation. We looked at what economists said inflation would be. Not only are the raises higher, but then when you add in the step increase, that difference between what we have on the table and inflation is even larger.
Mm-hmm. And if our fiscal stewardship continues, Philadelphia, you've seen us get the highest credit rating increase that the city of Philadelphia has seen in over 40 years. And you all know the agency, S&P, Fitch, and Moody's. If we keep moving in the right direction, we keep making the required payments and even more, not just the minimum municipal obligation that we are required to pay for our pensions, but making sure that we're paying more than that. That's our revenue reconciliation fund. That sales tax, I keep going back to that sales tax, Rob. That was the beginning for those of you who served. I talked to Council President Kenyatta Johnson about this. Who would have thought that the actions that we took while we were state legislators in Harrisburg to fund the school district of Philadelphia, that $120 million when we made that sales tax permanent in the city of Philadelphia, and we were stopping schools from closing, teachers, school administrators, SEIU, Unite Here, when we were told if we didn't get that additional revenue, schools wouldn't open in September. Who would have known that fine print language that said after Philadelphia pays the debt service on that $50 million borrowing that we needed immediately, yes, we can use that revenue to address our unfunded liability with our municipal pension system. Because of that, along with the shared sacrifice that our employees in the city made with plan design, we are on track, Rob, to be 80% funded about when?
At the end of the 5-year plan.
By the end of the 5-year plan, we'll be 80% funded
100% by 2033.
and 100% funded by 2023. So when you talk about how, what did you say? 2033. So when you talk about how, because a lot of people, some people have called and they've shared this about what we should do now and how did we get here. The city of Philadelphia didn't get here by happenstance. We got here because previous mayors pre-PICA in the city of Philadelphia made politically expedient decisions to ensure their re-elections instead of doing what the city of Philadelphia could afford. And so when we kick the can down the road, by the time I'm a legislator in Harrisburg, the pension fund is taking up 15 to 17% of our general fund revenue. It should not have been that way, but we made the tough decisions to invest in that pension system. And now, guess what? And I want you to hold me at this. I don't have the magic wand, but this is what I'm hoping. If we make sure that our foundation is built on fiscal stability, we continue making our minimum municipal obligation payments and then paying over that, my hope is that when the pension adjustment fund, when we go back to see how we're performing in the market, how our pension fund is doing under the amazing work of Fran Bielli and his team, I want you to imagine how amazing it would be if they've done so well and performed 1% above whatever the assumed rate of return is, if we're able to return a lump sum payment or a COLA to retirees in the city of Philadelphia. That's what we're trying to do, and that's why fiscal stability is so super important. Everybody put a 1 in the air for me. Everybody, my team. I don't care how hard it is. People tell me it's impossible. Yes, a lot of healing, but this is my goal no matter the circumstance. I want our city to be one Philly, a united city. Let me hear you all repeat after me and say, one Philly, a united city. I'm never going to stop trying. Thank you all.